give the call to the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister spent the first 18 months distracted by touring the world and spending $450 million on the divisive voice referendum, instead of focusing on making economic decisions and putting budgets together to help Australian families, not hurt them. Will the Prime Minister take responsibility for the cost of living pain that Australian families are feeling today?
Order. The Minister for Home Affairs will cease interjecting. The member for Moreton is warned. Order. Prime Minister has the call.
I'll leave people to draw their own conclusion between the gap that was there of mere seconds of speaking about the importance of our relationship with our neighbours and with the world, and that question, and that question, and that question.
Right.
He speaks about. He asked me about what we are doing. What we are doing is dealing with cost of living pressures. Cost of living pressures that he has voted against every single one of them. The energy price relief. What did he do? He voted against it. Whether it be the tax cuts for every Australian that will come in on Monday, all 13.6 million taxpayers. He not only said that it should be rolled back from the opposition, and they said they'd reverse it, he said we should go to an election on it. That was how strongly he felt about it before he voted for it. Before he voted for it.
He
voted against cheaper medicines.
Interjecting.
Yeah, 60-day dispensing was going to have a devastating impact. Pharmacies were going to close. None of that happened either. He's against fee-free TAFE, where now over 400,000 Australians have already enrolled in fee-free TAFE and made a difference there. And of course we know that he has opposed wages keeping up with the cost of living. What they did...
The Deputy Leader of the Opposition. The Prime Minister was asked a very broad question regarding a whole range of topics, and he is addressing the topics in the question, so I'll hear the member for Moncrieff on a point of order.
Members should be called by their correct titles, Mr Speaker. The Prime Minister has repeatedly called the opposition leader he. Members should be addressed by their correct title.
Order. A member of Moncrieff is entitled to raise her point of order. She's assisting the House. But we'll just make sure the Prime Minister is addressing people through their correct titles, and he'll address his remarks through the chair.
Anything's possible, Mr Speaker. I wasn't aware he was a they. Anything's possible on that side, Mr Speaker. Anything is possible. But we know, of course, from Karen Middleton that not only did they have 22 different energy policies in 10 years, now we know they had 3 different energy policies in one weekend. In one weekend.
Order. The Minister for Skills will cease.
This is how their climate change denial runs. One mistake in one interview and they walk away from a 2030 target.
Incredible.
One slip of the tongue and they just junk it all. Just junk it all. They're basing their energy policy.
Order. A member for Lyons will cease interjecting. The Minister for the National Disability Insurance Scheme will cease interjecting, so I can hear from the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Well, the Prime Minister's had a fair run, but on relevance, Australian households can't afford to pay their mortgages. Small businesses are going broke, and this Prime Minister doesn't have a clue.
Just remind the Leader of the Opposition who's falling into a little bit of a habit of adding extra things during his points of order. He'll be always granted a point of order on relevance. The Prime Minister makes to make sure his answer is being directly relevant to the question that he was asked, and he has the call.
Yes, Mr Speaker. They've come up with the most expensive form of new energy possible. They're basing their energy policy for the next decade on the basis of a mistake in the Weekend Australian. Mr Speaker, the shadow cabinet got rolled by Dennis Shanahan. It's just extraordinary.
The Prime Minister's time
Well done, Dennis. Keep going.
has concluded.